look how red my nose is. It's so cold out here. It's it's cold. But I wanted to do this. I bought this Osmo, and I guess it was kind of a way for me to get out there and maybe teach some people how to get into photography. And I guess really my goal of this whole channel is to eliminate the barrier to entry. Try to give people an idea of how they can get into this craft as affordable as possible with the best gear. I thought that was an owl. It's so expensive trying to get into this hobby or profession or whatever you try to do with it. It's incredibly expensive, and there's a huge barrier to entry, and thousands of dollars. And I just been trying to figure out a way to help people to be able to get into this and do something that you can create art or capture emotion or just capture that moment. Photography really in a way has kind of, I don't want to say it saved my life, but it kept me in a place that how do I say it? Okay, let me go back. Up until about, I say 5 years, well, up until June 28, 2015, I was in a bad place. I was an addict. I was a liar. I was a thief. I was a dealer. I was a fiend. And I took people that I cared about and that I loved, and people that loved me, and I took them right down there with me, right down through there. Some of the closest people I have to me, I took them all the way to the bottom, right there alongside me, and enjoyed doing it. And busted a family up, and separated my children from their father, and I was a bad dude, and it was drugs mainly, and I ended up doing time for it, and I bounced in and out of jail for years, a month in, a month out, a month in, a month out, and then finally I did a pretty good little bid, and because nobody would come and get me, nobody would bail me out. My folks turned on me, and I just I burned all my bridges. And at the time I was dating this girl, and I'm still with this girl today, and we're engaged to be married. I call her my wife. We've been together for so long, but I was pretty much homeless, and I was living in a tent, and I was running around all night, and nobody knew I was homeless. I mean, I wasn't like dirty or grungy or anything. I wore nice clothes and still drove a nice car, and just didn't have a house, and I met this girl, and we cloud nine immediately, and inseparable, and we got a place together, and she tried to do right, get me back on my feet. And I don't know if I was a project for her, or if she just was lonely. I don't know what the deal was, but she's a great girl, and I took her down through there, and she ultimately about 2 years after we met, she left. She literally joined the circus and took off to Canada. She joined Cirque du Soleil. So I don't know a whole lot of people that can say that their spouse literally joined the circus and left town, but that really happened to me. And I'm sorry if that bird is affecting this, but I like it. So anyway, she took off to Canada, and told me, you know, if I ever got my shit together, that she would come back. And you know, I guess about 3 years go by, 2.5 years of me being in and out of jail, and you know, she would answer my calls when I called her from jail, and you know, I got out and stayed clean and been clean ever since. And she came back, and now we have a house together, we have a life together, we have bills together, and she held up her end of the deal and I held up mine. And one of the things that keeps me constantly focused on doing better or just being a good person is photography. And that's kind of where this story was headed, was that, you know, it was an outlet. And I'm still an addict to this day because I'm addicted to cameras and camera gear and lenses and, you know, filters and microphones and you know, so I basically traded one habit for another. But I'll tell you, my family totally appreciates this habit a lot more than the other one. And you know, I've reclaimed my social condition. I'm in management in a job that I've had since I've gotten out. And, you know, it really wasn't hard to change my life. I mean, one thing I had to do was completely separate from everyone I knew. And living in a small town, I think there's about 15,000 people in this town, so that's considered a small town. There might be 20,000. And living in a small town where you did all your dirt and all your capers, it's hard, man. It's tough to separate yourself from those types of people. But I mean, in the end, it's doable. I did it, and I did it without even changing my phone number. And you know, but I basically traded one addiction for another. I now have a photography addiction, and I know I'm not great at it. I do think that I'm good, and I'm getting better. I've only been at it for a few years now, but I'm definitely getting better with it. And this YouTube thing, you know, I know I suck at it, but I don't care. I mean, you do something every day and you constantly work at stuff, you're going to get better. You have no choice. And so for those of you that, you know, have been following along, I appreciate you. You know, I in every one of my videos I say it. I really appreciate your time. It's the most valuable thing in the world, and that's coming from somebody who's lost a lot of theirs. And so I'm truly grateful for every one of you that subscribe and that like and that watch and that give me your time, because it cannot be replaced. And so I try to give back and earn it, you know, and put out good content. But I'm learning that every video I make, I learn something different. And you know, we'll get to the point, you know, one day, well, I'll be that Peter McKinnon, you know, I'll have that quality of video, or Matty Hopoya, or Chris Howe, or, you know, North Borders and all these guys. I mean, I got to give North Borders a shout out, because I used to watch that guy when he was getting 1,000 views. Holy shit, look at this. They all snuck up on me. Are y'all seeing this? Look, you see him up there? I also noticed this. I think there's an egg right there. You see it? We'll go look at it in a second. But I remember when North Borders was getting, you know, 1,000 views, and he wasn't really doing a whole lot. And now, I mean, he's making great content, and you know, I look to him for like kind of inspiration. And the car creative, he's I remember when he was, you know, up and coming. And so I don't know, those guys kind of motivate me. It's funny how none of them are American, though. They're all Canadian, and I think Mike's Australian. But you know, if you don't know who they are, you need to go check those guys out. They're great at what they do. And I found them through automotive photography. And I don't know, I guess I'm rambling on, but I guess this is kind of my introduction, you know, to who I am and why I am. And you know, if you want future photography content, then hit that subscribe button. If you found this helpful or touching or moving, or if you know someone that's in the same position, you know, there's help. There's people, you just can't give up on people. But, you know, hit that like button if you found this moving, and because that kind of motivates me to keep doing it. And I think buying this Osmo Action is going to be a good thing. I think I'll be able to put a lot more content, a lot better content out. And yeah, that 4K really eats up some storage though, doesn't it? So I guess that's that. You know, I'll probably strap this thing on and take some more photos on the way back out, and I'm probably gonna do some automotive stuff later on this afternoon, just because my car is clean. I cleaned it up really good yesterday, and it's a nice pretty day, and maybe I can kind of tone that bird out a little bit in editing, but I probably won't do much editing on this one. Just let it be raw, let it go. Intro and outro, and yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and if you would, smash that like button. Subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's cool. Maybe I can earn it in another video. But it's been fun. It's been fun learning all this stuff, and frame rates and ND filters, and I enjoy doing stuff new, you know. By trade, I'm a finished carpenter. I build cabinets and furniture and things like that. And hope to one day get paid for photography, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.